In this lecture we discuss how laws contrary to the Home Rule Charter as of when adopted were repealed, and in governmental transitions all documents and property from previous administration must be peacefully transferred.
Lecture 11, Article 7. Governmental Transitions. The continuity of government must remain between previous government and the present, or should we say then future. Though with the authority allowed in a Home Rule Charter providing for relief from the county for as much law enforcement, once established the allotment must be provided in the event the instance resurfaces. Once settled in a new area, and we notice the land experiences flooding, architects will have to take provisions in building and design unless they change the topography. Just because the flood doesn't happen this year or the last few doesn't mean that it won't in the future, and architects would be fools not to consider building on higher ground. We as a body have a responsibility to our visitors to be as accommodating as possible, and if a flood of people came to Memphis for our Memphis in May celebration, we have to be increasingly accommodating as years go by, so as the flood recedes there will be less and hopefully no collateral damage. There must always be legislative, judicial, and executive branches of state government and consequently their respective staffs prepared to pass as many laws, punish as many criminals and execute as many orders as humanly possible. Our power will increase as Oktoberfest, Memphis in May or Cooper Young Art Festival. All bodies and individuals are due the protection of the state through the county and the comfort of relying on their services at all times. This guarantee of order is guaranteed by the Constitution. As far as the new Home Rule Charter adopted, contrary laws to it are to be repealed, all documents of the previous county administration are to be delivered to appropriate destinations, and all resolutions and other directives prior to must remain. With the adoption of our most recent charter, all laws contrary to it will be considered repealed as of the enforcement of the most recent. Why? Well, because only a few alterations will be made in any new charter, as we all basically follow the 10 Commandments. The Private Acts of 1974, also called the Shelby County Restructure Act, changed its 3 departments of county administration into a mayor/quarterly county court form of government. Since 1911 the heads of those departments ran the business of the county, called the Board of County Commissioners. The board as we know it today is pursuant to the 1977 interpretation of Article 7 of the TN Constitution. With the expansion of county government, taxes rose as well, and by 1984 the current Home Rule Charter adoption made Shelby County the first county in the state of Tennessee to do so, the first where the people may move independently of the state. When we know how to act, acting within the law in addition to the law is how we define our style, so we trust that municipalities and their agents act within the law and attract taxpayers with what they provide that the county doesn't. The county just provides for ice cream. In cities and some towns, we are sure they probably have sprinkles plus tax. As all provisions of the Restructure Act of 1974 consistent with the latest charter remaining, delivery of all documents by department heads to successors is required. Where would we be without a written record of what we have done yesterday, and from wherever would we start? We can't start England again. The new Home Rule Charter expects the same amount of authority and respect as the last, and holding documents in lieu of things improves the ability to catalog, as no document or receipt isn't attached to a person, product, or thing. When the county collects taxes, it doesn't just pay salaries, but things are purchased where contracts entered into which may outlive current charters as had the previous. If the continuity of government isn't secured through the documents, deeds and titles it holds, how else will it be able to justify tax dollars collected and maintain its good name? The county is not in a position to owe anyone as it collects taxes which are theoretically for the betterment of residents. The record of what has been collected, what is owed, what is to be dispersed and when are documented where without transferring them as per the new charter is essentially theft of property or at least some type of malfeasance. The necessity of all resolutions or other such directives by the Board of County Commissioners is paramount, while pending matters may be implemented or discarded by the Board as per compliance with the latest charter. The Board of County Commissioners as the legislative branch of county government is intrusted with improving the direction of residents' movements. As representatives of the people, commissioners vote the will of residents, which is theoretically toward the most efficient commercial execution, the optimum health and the importance of county roads. Without maintenance of county roads, cities would be shut off from the rest of the world, so in essence looking at it, counties encompass and often border cities, making them subordinate to the county by way of the land, but not necessarily necessary in the air, social, radio or otherwise. The freedom to move must remain paramount, and the board ultimately determines impediments. Issues to yet to be determined, though, may be approved or discarded under the new charter rules. We can't act like yesterday never happened, but we can mold tomorrow from the choices we make today. Let's not waste this opportunity to exercise our rights to make improvements under our newest charter, and leave the politics for those who are better prepared. As far as the new Home Rule Charter adopted in 1984, contrary laws to it are to be repealed, all documents of the previous county administration are to be delivered to appropriate destinations, and all resolution and other directives prior to must remain. Perhaps in sequential order, repealing contrary laws is a main focus of the movement by any county to reach order. The body is fluid and government must be able to accommodate the liberty residents express, where documentation of that movement under the name of the county must be transferred. Next, and perhaps simultaneously, previous board decisions must remain in effect, because who are we but yesterday?